Hello, everyone. How's everyone doing today? Welcome to today's online launch event, and thank you all for joining us. Now, my name is Angus, and I'm the head of product marketing at POCO Global. Now, it's been just a little bit over 2 months, so I'm very excited and happy to be back on stage again to share with you all. Now, let's recap our last launch event. We did launch 2 amazing devices, the POCO X3 Pro and the POCO F3, both flagship performance devices in the 4G and 5G segment. I remember rewatching the live launch event 2 days after the actual launch, and I saw amazing comments from feedback from fans all over the world. And of course, from our media friends as well, which they gave really high praises for the X3 Pro and the F3. GSM Arena gave a verdict on the X3 Pro, saying it gives you flagship-grade screen, outstanding performance, and an excellent battery, for, of course, at a retail price of only 249 euros. Now, that price is still staggering. And we also had a crazy 199 euros early bird as well. And Android Authority gave a very kind word for F3, with many standout features and incredible hardware for very little cash. For that sort of performance, compared to the usual 500 euro plus cost, that will bang for the buck. For so many kind words from fans and media, as of right now, in just 2 months, we were able to ship out more than 2 million POCO F3 and X3 Pro. Now, I can't say we were surprised because we were so much confident in these 2 devices, but it's certainly really nice to see this actually happen. Now, with this achievement, we also marked a big milestone. Now, since 2018, since the POCO brand has been launched, currently we've shipped out more than 17.5 million smartphones. Now, we're almost at the 20 million mark. Now, we're growing every day by day, and it's all because of our fans' trust in our products. Not only on the product shipment we've grown, actually, on POCO community, we've grown quite a bit as well. Now, in our last launch, we did launch the POCO community app. And since then, we have gained 450% more fans. And the content we've seen from some of the fans on the community is simply amazing. We actually have a recap video from some of the fans around the world. Let's take a look.
POCO community is available to sign up soon. We will upgrade the POCO community to be available on Android as well. Our community powers us.
Now, that was an awesome video, and I hope more fans engage with us on a regular basis. Now, we all know all of our fans love speed. They love raw power, the comfort feeling of, hey, my phone can run well on anything. No need to worry about it if it can perform now or in the near future. And a little bit over 6 months ago, we launched this bad boy, the POCO M3. It was an absolute eye-catcher, turned a lot of heads on the street. It was more than anyone expected in an entry-level smartphone, including me. One of the best phones out there in its price range. And to be honest, if I have to pick a design out of all the POCO phones so far, this might be the winner. And the numbers really show how attractive it is. Under 7 months, we've shipped out 3.2 million units. Now, for entry level and a brand new series, We're extremely proud of this achievement. And today, we will be introducing a new family member in the M series. Now, when we first started to plan out what could we bring in our next M series, we thought really hard what the fans could want, and we analyzed the market, and we think we found the answer. 5G. Yes, today, our latest device will be 5G ready, and it's going to disrupt the market. Now, everyone knows this one fact about 5G. What's 5G famous for? It's really fast. Based on our internal testing, 5G is up to 23 times faster than 4G. Now, we've shown this number before, but after knowing more about 5G recently, I actually became more and more impressed about this. So I went on and learned some facts. Now, it's a general knowledge among the smartphone market or the consumer tech market in general that anything 5G comes with a higher price tag. And 5G technology has made designing and engineering any device a bit harder, taking it to the next level, which is a main reason why the cost gets a bit higher, especially last year when 5G first came out in the first batch of flagship devices. So after doing some research and asking around my colleagues constantly on a daily basis, why do 5G smartphone SoCs cost more? I mean, yes, the general thinking is it's new, but it's actually going to go a little bit deeper than that. So when you have an SoC, then you add a 5G modem, which is a cost already on top of the SoC. At first, I was like, well, there you go. We've got ourselves a 5G phone. So then how come when the first 5 batch of flagship 5G phones were so expensive, increasing the prices by hundreds of dollars? Now that's really because once you fit in a 5G modem, you get quite a bit of benefits, a change of engineering and design. You'll have to get more band support, which requires extra testing and verifications, and that drives the cost up already. An external circuit that includes a power circuit to generate enough power for the 5G modem. The antenna design will have to be changed. The throughput increase because you will obviously be handling tons of Gs for upload and download for all of your entertainment. And interesting enough, actually, the actual modem size inside the SoC increases as well, which makes designing the chipset a bit more difficult. Now, these are only some of the factors, and they all increase the costs. So what I'm trying to say is, 5G is interesting and wild and a bit costly. But 5G is supposed to be for everyone, and that's the direction. So the question I had to ask today and the team is 5G still expensive right now? It's been over 1 to 2 years, and we've seen crazy rates almost 2 years ago. And the answer we came up for this question is yes and no. Now, let me show you what I mean and give you an example. Now, let's take these two mid-rangers on the market, for example, the Samsung A32 and the A32 5G, a 4G smartphone, a 5G smartphone. At first glance, I was like, wow, 20 euros, and you get a 5G phone. That's solid. But then I looked a little bit closer, and you'll see something here. You'll see some differences. Now, although the overall performance increases, but the display was cut down from a 1080p AMOLED plus 90 Hz refresh rate to a TFT panel with no refresh rate. And there were some cut downs in camera section as well, the main camera and the selfie camera. Now, all that downgrade, and then you pay an extra 20 euros for 5G, I'm just not sure if watching content super fast on a 720p panel is going to be a super great experience. So after seeing this, we took this as a learning. And I got to make this very firm before we start today. At POCO, from the team, we will stay firm with everything you need. No cutting corners. Today, we'll give you more speed, more everything, under 200 euros. Now, this is the part I'm assuming there's a lot of price guessing on the comments below. So let the price guessing game begin. Introducing our first Pro edition ever in our M series from POCO Global, the POCO M3 Pro. Now, this is an awesome, awesome device. It will really reshape the standards of its segment and 5G smartphones as well. First, we have more speed, 5G speed, and overall performance speed. For the first time ever, we will be using the MediaTek chipset in our POCO smartphone lineup. Now, I've been getting a lot of comments that I've seen from POCO community, from my Twitter page. Hey, when are you going to put a MediaTek in one of your smartphones? Well, today is here. And specifically, the powerful MediaTek Dimensity 700, a high-performance processor. It features an octa-core CPU, a processing power up to 2.2 gigahertz, and a very respectable GPU as well, the Mali G57. Now, what's special about the Dimensity 700 is that it uses an advanced 7-nanometer process usually found only in flagship chipsets. Very high performance and power efficiency. There's a beautiful balance between the two. Now, compared to its previous generation, it's 20% better in performance and 40% more efficient. This is a very, very good mid-range processor. Now, for those who don't know 7-nanometer that well, in simple terms, all you need to remember, it's flagship level. Other chipsets, such as Snapdragon 870, which is featured on our POCO F3, and the Snapdragon 865, featured on our F2 Pro, are all 7-nanometer. Great performance. And with the Mali's G57 GPU, compared to its last generation, it's 30% better in energy efficiency and performance density. It can handle most games on the market with ease without draining the battery like crazy. And when we take a look at the AnTuTu benchmark, and we compare it to the Snapdragon 662, which was used in the POCO M3, a great entry-level processor, and the Snapdragon 720G, which is one of the most popular mid-range chipset till today, the Dimensity 700 outperforms both, comfortably sitting close to 350K. Now, that's a great score. Now, besides its great performance, MediaTek has something special. It features dual 5G SIM, and this is an absolutely great feature. It's very future-proof for all of our users who purchase the M3 Pro. Now, in terms of storage, we also had an upgrade compared to the M3. We feature now up to 128 gigabyte storage, and it's using UFS 2.2 in all variants, which is 139% faster than UFS 2.1. So it's very quick when it comes to installing or loading apps. And trust me, you'll feel the difference. And we also found out when it comes to expandable storage, which this M3 Pro features as well, there's only some phones that only support 512 gigabyte of expandable storage, which is decent. You get some movies, some songs, some images, but we have more everything. We have 1 terabyte of expandable storage. Insane. That's a lot of storage. So the performance of the M3 Pro is quite simple. It offers more with 5G capabilities, more with a 7-nanometer chipset, and more with UFS 2.2, which is even now not that common in the mid-range segment. And when we compare the upgrade from M3, there's quite a bit of improvement. Going way beyond the entry-level phone, the M3 Pro performance is full-on mid-range. Now remember, the POCO M3 Pro is under 200 euros, and we've only talked about performance so far. So we can move on to display. Yes, we do have more, and we've made some changes. The POCO M3 had a great screen in its class, maybe even the best. But what about the M3 Pro? First, we do maintain a big screen of 6.5 inch, still very comfortable for any entertainment you play on your phone. Then we have a 91% screen-to-body ratio size. Now, this is actually super impressive for any device under 200 euros. But there is a small touch to our screen. It's really nice. From the rather traditional dot drop display, we've upgraded to a dot display, making the whole experience more premium. It's the same design now as our X3 lineup and our F3. It's super clean and even more immersive. But immersiveness also requires HD. We still have a FHD Plus 1080p panel. I mean, it's 2021, this is the standard, even for smartphones under 200 euros. Now, the difference between HD Plus and FHD Plus is quite massive. If you look closely, just from your naked eye, 720p is still a little bit blurry, but 1080p is insanely clear. And what do I mean by say this display is going to offer more? I mean more speed. Yes, speed on the display. The M3 Pro features a 90 Hz refresh rate. Now, this is the very first model in our M series to feature such high refresh rate. Now, to some of the fans watching right now who don't know how much 30 Hz difference is between the standard 60 and 90 high refresh rate, let's take a look at a comparison video. Now that was an awesome video, and the difference was clear. 90 Hz is the way to go. But not only that, we also have dynamic switch technology, which is a feature we have on the X3 line as well. An awesome smart tech that helps save battery by automatically adjusting each content you view to its most optimized frame rate. Super smart. For example, when you're video streaming, your screen is set to 60 Hz. Instead of always staying on 90, this helps save battery quite a bit. It's super smart. And when you need that 90 Hz, you open a game and just enjoy that 90 FPS. Of course, the game has to support 90 FPS, but when it does, this is an experience to die for as a gamer. It's so smooth. And when you're done gaming or scrolling through your social media, at a static image, it changes to 50 Hz automatically. Now, that's even lower than watching a video. Now, this picture was shot and posted by my close colleague, Emery and Abby. And we were discussing this specific device, the M3 Pro, at that point. I was showing the device off. I wanted to make them jealous. So when you compare it to a 60 Hz device, for example, the Samsung A42 5G, it's a mid-ranger. But we've got a lot more options, and it's just really smart. A must-have feature once you equip high refresh rate. And along with all those features, of course, we also have Corning Gorilla Glass to protect this awesome display. So to sum up the POCO M3 Pro display, we really do have awesome features. A big screen with 1080p quality, 90 Hz refresh rate, dynamic switch technology, Corning Gorilla Glass protection, and I forgot to mention, we have a 360-degree light sensor which automatically detects your lighting environment and adjusts the brightness automatically. Now, that's great for the eyes, and that's great for my eyes when I'm staring at my phone all the time, on my bed or even outside in the sun. It's awesome. So if we come back to this, there's quite a bit of an upgrade on the display. It's living up to its Pro title in the M series. Then we have power efficient, not just battery, power efficiency. Let me show you what I mean. First, we have a 5,000 milliamp battery, which is a very respectable size, no matter which segment you're in. We have an 18-watt fast charging to support it. That's hitting the standard for smartphones under 200 euros. And yes, we do have a 22.5 watt inbox charger that's great for any device, not just this phone. So when I say power efficient, it's because of these three features that I just went over. Dynamic switch display technology, a 7 nanometer processor, then a 5,000 milliamp battery to top it all off. What does that get you? Well, over 2 days of battery life. And honestly, I've tried the M3, which had an insane battery life. The M3 Pro, even with high refresh rate, this can match it easily. Now, with all those optimization, you're getting a lot of hours of media consumption. Hours of music, streaming, and gaming. It's actually all I do, so that's a lot of hours for me. So the POCO M3 Pro is more power efficient, and that's exactly what we're trying to say today. It may be one of the most optimized device under 200 euros on the market when it comes to power efficiency. It's amazing. Now, we do have to talk about design. And there's something special about it today. We were able to choose the colors this time as a team. But we had quite a few options at first. And we're actually going to show you some of the colors that was actually being considered. And then we'll show you the actual colors of the M3 Pro. Now, let's take a look. So here, we have some of the first round options for the M3 Pro. Now, we had a black that was a glossy finish with a leather feel, and a neon green, which is absolutely flashy and could be preferred by some of the team members here as well. And then there's a pink. Now, this pink actually have a story behind it. Now, my boss told me every man has a feminine side, and this pink is very attractive. And I can't blame him. This is a gorgeous looking pink. And then we have a yellow, which is a different design from the rest of them. It has a black stripe all the way down with the POCO logo. Now, this yellow is very close to our final design. And then we have two variants of blue, which also looks very good, but it wasn't quite there yet. It wasn't complete because it was just a bit bland, and we want to make it a little bit special. So let's take a look at our M3 Pro's actual three colors. Now, first, we do have the Power Black. Now, this black is just so classy and beautiful. It's clean, it's subtle, and it's elegant. You can never go wrong with this color. It's actually the go-to choice. And then we have the cool blue. Now, we had a huge debate within the team. Is this a blue or is it a mixture of a blue and a bit of a green? But what can I say about it? The name says it all. It's very cool. And for the fans who likes a bit of a flashy color, it's a color that will just grow on you. The more you look at it, the more beautiful it is. It really is an awesome color. However, just like the M3, we did the Power Black, the Cool Blue, and lastly, the POCO Yellow. Just look at that. Now, yellow has never been my top choice when it comes to coloring, but this is definitely changing my mind. And to let you guys know, this specific POCO Yellow, Kevin and I actually chose this personally. So we really hope you guys enjoy it. It's an absolute stunner, and it really represents what the POCO brand is all about. So here it is. We have it in all three colors. The Power Black, the Cool Blue, and the POCO Yellow. As always, let us know which one you prefer or like in the comments below. Now, besides these three colors, we also have some design features we would like to talk about. Now, when it comes to essential features on a mid-range phone or an entry-level phone, we also have on the M3 Pro a 3.5mm headphone jack and an IR blaster. It's just what you expected. And these functions are always handy. It's just really nice to have them. We also have NFC, which is an upgrade from the POCO M3. Now, I've been using NFC more and more recently, and it's really convenient. All you need to do is just tap on the back, and I can swipe into the office, swipe out of the office, and for wireless payment. It's made my life super easy, and I barely have to carry my wallet around. So here are the three colors: the Power Black, the Cool Blue, the POCO Yellow. All three very, very stunning. If you had to ask me which one I would choose, I'll probably have to rock with the yellow. It's just beautiful. So the M3 Pro design. We've got all the essential features and a great look. And we've made it even a bit lighter. Only 190 grams, even when we have a 5,000 milliamp battery. Insane. And lastly, we do have the camera section, where you can create your content for your social media world. So featuring the POCO M3 Pro, we have a very solid camera system based around the all-purpose 48 megapixel main camera. That's just super easy to snap photos, and it also features a depth sensor for portrait shots and a macro camera that offers a view of another world. Now let's take a look at some samples. First, we have the 48 megapixel, and you can just see the immense detail in this photo. The shadow on their faces, not making it too artificial. And I gotta make this clear. All of the photos are shot on the POCO M3 Pro. So let's see another one. Now, it's just super easy to use a 48 megapixel and take these scenery shots. And the quality and clarity is most certainly top-notch in its class. And when you want to snap a few shots at night, we do support night mode, which have captured the lights very nicely here. It's a beautiful picture, and it really brings out the night mode characteristics. And for your Instagram shots, gotta look good for the gram, right? You have portrait mode, which brings out the detail on you and blurring out the background. You're the star, and the M3 Pro captures that moment. And when it comes to macro mode, and I've seen some amazing macro shots captured by our fans from other devices, which I'm really happy to see, because I've been encouraging everyone to actually try macro mode. And look at the contrast and detail. It's absolutely stunning. Then, of course, on video, we also have time-lapse, a classic feature that never gets old. Now, I've seen a lot of time-lapse videos recently, and I believe this is a great feature to capture a lot over time and create a beautiful story around it. Let's take a look at what we took with the M3 Pro. So here it is. This is the POCO M3 Pro. It's sporting a MediaTek Dimensity 700 that supports dual 5G SIM, a 7-nanometer flagship level process, and a UFS 2.2, which offers insane write speeds. A 6.5-inch big screen that's 1080p with 90 hertz and a dynamic switch technology. 5,000 milliamp big battery with 18-watt fast charge, and a 22.5-watt fast charger. Beautiful 3 colors, the Power Black, Cool Blue, POCO Yellow. Featuring the key essentials, the IR blaster, headphone jack, and NFC. A 48 megapixel triple camera setup. All of these things at a weight of 190 grams. So it's simple. POCO M3 Pro. More speed, more display, more power efficiency, more design, and you get more creative. It's just more everything. So I'm going to show you the exact same thing like I did earlier with the Samsung A32 lineup. Now, it's clear that we had some upgrades in the Pro version and giving you 5G at the same time. I mean, the upgrades are there. The POCO M3 at the time of launch for retail price was 149 euros and 149 USD, depending which region you're in. Now, in the beginning of the launch, I did say you're getting all the features I just talked about, more speed, more everything, the POCO M3 Pro for under 200 euros. So we take a look at a comparison table against other 5G mid-ranger phones on the market. Now the specs, if you look closely, are fairly similar. There's nothing too different between the 3 phones. Now, the Samsung A32 5G is priced at 299 euros, and the Oppo is priced at 319 euros. But let's not only look at 5G. I know a lot of fans across the stream right now have 4G phones, and they're looking for the 5G upgrade. Again, when we compare ourselves to 4G mid-range smartphones, the specs are not too far apart. The Oppo A74 is still using the same processor as our previous generation, the POCO M3, and they have a price of 259 euros. Now that's already much more expensive than our M3, over 100 euros. So how much is the M3 Pro? For our base variant, the 4GB plus 64GB variant, we have an amazing price of 179 euros. Now, that's well below the 200 euros mark. Shocking value. It's crazy, it's crazy, it's crazy. I can't explain it. But you know how we like to do it at POCO. We do like to give them a treat for our fans. And you know what it is. The early bird price. For our base variant and our early bird price, it starts at a shocking price of 159 euros. Now, I'm really curious about the comments online right now. I'm sure some people have been saying a lot of wows in there. But let's just see the higher variant as well. For the 6GB plus 128GB option, which is an upgraded RAM version of the previous M3, we have an amazing price at 199 euros. So when I said more speed, more everything, under 200, I really mean it. And yes, we do have an early bird price for the higher variant as well. An amazing price. No, I really mean amazing. Amazing price of 179 euros. Now, hold your horses. Just think about it for a second. This is only 30 euros more compared to the base variant of the POCO M3 base 4GB plus 64GB option. What can I say? More speed, more everything at an insane price once again. Did we disrupt the market? You let us know in the comments below. So we like to come back to this. If we only look at the base variant, it's only 10 euros more compared to the POCO M3. Like, think about that for a second. 10 euros. For all of those upgrades, speechless. If you guys are wondering how we did this, I don't know. You guys might want to jump on Twitter and start asking Kevin about it. And we compare to the 5G mid-rangers, well, we're almost half price against the Samsung and Oppo. Similar specs, but at almost 50% cheaper. Insane. And then we're actually even cheaper than 4G devices. Now, at POCO, we want to give you a taste of 5G without breaking the bank. And the POCO M3 Pro does exactly that. So in summary, it's a great device with an even greater price tag. Now, I can go on and on about this device and how much value you're getting. So I'm just going to tell our fans online where and when to buy it. Now, the POCO M3 Pro will first be available on these platforms, literally tomorrow. Now, during the date of May 20th and 22nd, early bird pricing will be available on these platforms. Now, the duration of the early bird will vary between each platform, so don't wait. Check all of them and make sure you can get it in your local regions. Now, for the fans online who looked at this and say they can't access it or isn't available in your regions, don't worry, we got you covered. We've got a lot more channels coming, so do follow your local region POCO social media accounts to make sure you don't miss this deal. It's really worth it. I can't stress that enough. Now, it's been an absolute blast today, and I had a lot of fun sharing with you guys on stage. Now, it is May, and it's getting warm, so I hope all of our fans always stay cool, and most importantly, please stay safe. Now, thank you all for joining, and of course, until next time. Welcome to today's online launch event. Now, my name is Angus, and I'm the head of product marketing at POCO Global. Now, let's recap our last launch event. We did launch two amazing devices, the POCO X3 Pro and the POCO F3. In just 2 months, we were able to ship out more than 2 million POCO F3 and X3 Pro. Now, since 2018, since the POCO brand has been launched, currently we've shipped out more than 17.5 million smartphones. Now, in our last launch, we did launch the POCO community app. And since then, we have gained 450% more fans.
POCO community is available to sign up soon. We will upgrade the POCO community to be available on Android as well. Our community powers us.
And a little bit over 6 months ago, we launched this bad boy, the POCO M3. Under 7 months, we've shipped out 3.2 million units. And today, we will be introducing a new family member in the M series, 5G. Yes, today, our latest device will be 5G ready, and it's going to disrupt the market. It's really fast. Based on our internal testing, 5G is up to 23 times faster than 4G. And 5G technology has made designing and engineering any device a bit harder. Why do 5G smartphone SoCs cost more? I mean, yes, the general thinking is it's new, but it's actually going to go a little bit deeper than that. So when you have an SoC, then you add a 5G modem, which is a cost already on top of the SoC. The antenna design will have to be changed. Is 5G still expensive right now? And the answer we came up for this question is yes and no. Now, let me show you what I mean and give you an example. Now, let's take these two mid-rangers on the market, for example, the Samsung A32 and the A32 5G. A 4G smartphone, a 5G smartphone. And there were some cut downs in camera section as well, the main camera and the selfie camera. Now, all that downgrade, and then you pay an extra 20 euros for 5G, at POCO, from the team, we will stay firm with everything you need. We'll give you more speed, more everything, under 200 euros. The POCO M3 Pro. For the first time ever, we will be using the MediaTek chipset in our POCO smartphone lineup. The powerful MediaTek Dimensity 700, a high-performance processor. It features an octa-core CPU, a processing power up to 2.2 gigahertz. Now, what's special about the Dimensity 700 is that it uses an advanced 7-nanometer process usually found only in flagship chipsets. Very high performance and power efficiency. And when we take a look at the Antutu benchmark, the Dimensity 700 outperforms both, comfortably sitting close to 350K. Now, besides its great performance, MediaTek has something special. It features a dual 5G SIM, and this is an absolutely great feature. It's very future-proof for all of our users who purchase the M3 Pro. Now, in terms of storage, we also had an upgrade compared to the M3. We feature now up to 128 gigabyte storage, but we have more everything. We have 1 terabyte of expandable storage. So we can move on to display. First, we do maintain a big screen of 6.5 inch. Then we have a 91% screen-to-body ratio size. But immersiveness also requires HD. We still have a FHD Plus 1080p panel. Now, the difference between HD Plus and FHD Plus is quite massive. The M3 Pro features a 90 Hz refresh rate. But not only that, we also have dynamic switch technology. Then we have power efficient. So when I say power efficient, it's because of these three features that I just went over. Dynamic switch display technology, a 7nm processor, then a 5,000 milliamp battery to top it all off. Hours of music, streaming, and gaming. Now we do have to talk about design. First, we do have the Power Black. Now, this black is just so classy and beautiful. And then we have the Cool Blue. Now, we had a huge debate within the team. Is this a blue or is it a mixture of a blue and a bit of a green? Just like the M3, we did the Power Black, the Cool Blue, and lastly, the POCO Yellow. Just look at that. We also have, on the M3 Pro, a 3.5mm headphone jack and an IR blaster. We also have NFC, which is an upgrade from the POCO M3. We do have the camera section. So featuring the POCO M3 Pro, we have a very solid camera system based around the all-purpose 48-megapixel main camera. First, we have the 48-megapixel, and you can just see the immense detail in this photo. We do support night mode, which have captured the lights very nicely here. You have portrait mode, which brings out the detail on you and blurring out the background. And when it comes to macro mode, and I've seen some amazing macro shots. Then, of course, on video, we also have time-lapse, a classic feature that never gets old. So it's simple. POCO M3 Pro. More speed, more display, more power efficiency, more design, and you get more creative. It's just more everything. The 4GB plus 64GB variant. For our base variant and our early bird price, it starts at a shocking price of 159 euros. For the 6GB plus 128GB option, an amazing price of 179 euros. Now, the POCO M3 Pro will first be available on these platforms, literally tomorrow. Now, during the date of May 20th and 22nd, we've got a lot more channels coming. Now, thank you all for joining, and of course, until next time.